Okay, so just picked up this 2004 Yamaha Wave Runner XLT1200. Short story, the person who I bought it off took it to a shop because it ceased running on the water. They were told that it was a starter solenoid which was replaced. Then that obviously didn't fix the problem, so they took it to another shop for another opinion, and they were told that one of the pistons has seized, and it wouldn't be worth their time or money repairing it. So I negotiated a price with them, and today's the first day having a bit of a look. I'm going to dive into it. First things first, I'll take the battery out, I'll put that on charge, see if we can save that. And then from there, we'll take the plugs out, have a bit of a look, see what we can see. And then the plan will probably be today to take the top off the engine, labeling and bagging all the bolts so we know where everything goes. And then from there, have a look at the tops of the pistons. All right, so I believe this ski seized about 2 months ago, so maybe 8-10 weeks. So before I pull the battery out, I just want to do a very quick test to see where the battery's at in relation to charge. So what do we got there? 11.67. So it's definitely needs to be charged. Always put the bolts back in just in case. I don't know where they are. Just unclip this. 2. Get that out. So I'll just give you a quick view inside the engine bay. So there is a funny, not funny, but an oily film on the engine, and I have read that these engines are prone to the oil injection lines coming off just through shrinkage and their age. So that would definitely be one thing I'll be checking and looking at before we get really into ripping things apart. But the first thing I'm going to do is take the plugs out, have a bit of a look in there. I'll try and get some video footage of what the top of the pistons look like, because I'm sure there'll be other people searching for these videos for that reason, just to try and be able to identify what problems they've got happening with their skis. So I'll set up the camera, take the plugs out, and we'll try and get a little bit of footage of inside the chambers for you. Alright, so I'm just going to take these plugs out, and I've just noticed that they are all hand loose. Now I did inspect the ski before I bought it, and they were sort of tight but able to be undone by hand. So I'll literally show you these as I'm pulling them out. So I don't know how well you'll be able to see that on film. Like that. So there's possibly a little bit of water in there too. Get the focus for you. Now this piston here I know is the one that's failed. And you can see all the crap that's on the plug there. Literally Oh, we've still got something attached, which would probably be the earth wire. So we'll take that off. That's about 10. And that is what I'd probably call pretty bad engine damage on that number 1 cylinder. So I'll just lift this gasket off, but looking at the rear 2 cylinders, they both appear to be pretty good. Looks like they've had water in them at some stage. This actually looks like someone's put some sort of gasket seal over it that's failed too. And you can see there's a bit of water mixed in with the oil as well. All right, well, we'll clean off the top of this piston and we'll have a bit of a look. So just looking at the top of the first piston, I've never ever seen anything quite like that before. That I would say is a fairly catastrophic engine failure. Be interesting to see why that's happened. But what I'm going to do now is going to give it a quick vacuum off, and then we'll be able to get a better view of what's happening to the top of the piston and then to the bore. Alright, so I'm just going to see if I can, like I said, continue with not having to take off the whole exhaust manifold, but be able to just undo that one pot. Alright, should be able to now, with a bit of magic, those out of there. Oh, it's good. I'm gonna have to stay in there. Oh, the bottom one's not loose enough. Alright, let's see how we go cracking these up. There's not a heap of room to get in there. Once I crack these free, I should be able to use the impact gun to pull this one up all the way. Lovely. So I've just made up another bag to keep everything simple. You're probably not going to read it. It just says pop bolts on it. Just to help keep, now there are washers on these too, which is going to be interesting to see if they, yep, they do come out lovely. 1, 2. much room in there. Four. There we go. That felt like a ring just let go. Very, very gently lifting this up. Gently enough that we can have a bit of a look in there while we're going. Not too crazy, but that. I'll give you a look at the inside of the piston. So there's a bit of, it's got the fragments in there. It's actually not as scored as what I thought it was going to be. I'm sure you'll be able to see down in there. Try and do this without. So she's pretty bad, but there's no movement in the crank, which is a really good sign. Apart from, it does look pretty bad down in there, but the bearing's not gone down in there, which is a really good sign. I've cleaned out as much of the oily water that was down in the bottom of the crank housing that I could. It's definitely need to come apart. It's going to have to be cleaned. There's a lot of metal floating around in there. You can see the damage to the piston. It's very, very chopped up. The sides of the piston are also pretty bad. Can get movement in the crank, which is good. There's no movement in the crank bearing. I'm a little bit concerned about the corrosion around these veins. That to me doesn't look normal. So I think the next move for this will be to take off the exhaust, and we'll get the engine out of the hull, have a bit of a look. Now seeing what I'm seeing, I think I prefer to just strip it down completely and replace what has to be replaced, get it done properly, and then put this engine back in again. And I think that realistically, a few gaskets, new cylinder, new piston, and I reckon we'll be alright. I reckon this thing will be back up and running before we know it.